Hola clase, bienvenidos. Hoy vamos a hablar sobre el pretérito. The topic for today's flipped video is the imperfect tense. Remember that there are two past tenses in Spanish, the preterite and the imperfect. The preterite is the past tense that's used to describe completed actions. Okay, when you use the preterite, you're implying that the action is done and over with, and it happened at one specific time in the past. The imperfect, on the other hand, is used to talk about the past without any reference to when the action began or ended. Okay, it's the more general way to speak about the past. Remember that you can use the imperfect tense to talk about ongoing, reoccurring, or incomplete actions in the past. It's also used to tell someone's age, describe weather, or tell the time. Okay, you'll also see it commonly translated to was, inging, so I was talking, I was walking, and translated as used to. Yes, we used to go to the park all the time as children. Okay, we are going to follow up in this unit with a video on how to tell when to use preterite versus imperfect. This is the video purely on what is the imperfect tense and how do we conjugate it. To form the imperfect tense, you have two steps. Step one, you're going to drop the AR, ER, or IR. And then you will add these endings. If you have an AR verb, you will add aba, abas, aba, abamos, aban. You'll see I've included habáis for vosotros, but that will not be on any test or quiz. If you have an ER verb, the endings that you're adding are ia, ias, ia, iamos, ian. There is an accent in all forms of the ER, IR, and there's an accent on the we form of AR. Okay, we're going to do some practice here. Look at a couple verbs that are conjugated in the imperfect. First up, you have jugar. Jugar means to play. Okay, and if you want to put that in the imperfect, you would come up with jugaba, jugabas, jugaba, jugábamos, jugaban. Comer, the verb to eat. If you wanted to say, yeah, I used to eat candy all the time as a child, you would put it in the imperfect tense, and it would become comía, comías, comía, comíamos, comían. Are there irregulars in the imperfect tense? Yes, but very few, okay, when you compare that to other verb tenses. Your three irregular verbs in the imperfect tense are ser, ver, and ir. Ser is a verb that means to be. Its imperfect conjugation is era, eras, era, éramos, eran. For ver, which means to see, its imperfect conjugation is veía, veías, veía, veíamos, veían. Okay, and the verb ir, which means to go, its imperfect conjugation is iba, ibas, iba, íbamos, iban. Okay, as far as accenting goes, you'll see that ver has an accent in all forms. Okay, because it has the ER, IR endings. And then with ser and ir, they only carry an accent in the we form. Okay, let's also take a moment to talk about this verb haber. Haber is a unique verb that only has one form unless it is a helping verb. Okay, we have not learned yet how to use it as a helping verb. Okay, so in our world right now, there's only one form of haber in all of the tenses that it exists in. Okay, you saw the present tense of haber in Spanish 1. That was I, H-A-Y, I, and it meant there is or there are. The preterite form of haber is hubo, and it means there was or there were. And in the imperfect tense, its form is había, and it also means there was or there were. Okay, so how would you use that if you say, oh, yes, there were a lot of people at that party? Okay, había muchas personas en esa fiesta. Okay, let's take our rules and our notes that we have on our note guide and see if we can put those into practice. Okay, I would like you to conjugate all 6 of these verbs in the imperfect tense. You will notice that the numbers with an asterisk are irregular, and you should pay close attention while conjugating them. Okay, please pause me. All right, let's review our answers. We have yo jugaba. 2. Cuando yo era niño. 3. Mis padrinos conducían. 4. My cousins and I used to get together. Now, this verb is reflexive, juntarse, but that doesn't change the way we conjugate it. You take that se off, move it to the front, and make it match, and you get nos, and then you conjugate juntar in the imperfect tense. So you have nos juntábamos. 5. Ellos siempre iban. Y 6. Eva hacía. Okay, I think you will find the imperfect tense is relatively easy to conjugate. Okay, so we will review that, we will master that, and then we will move on to the difference between preterite and imperfect at the end of this unit. Okay, if you have any questions, please jot that down on your note guide. Y muchas gracias. Adiós.